Assalamu alaikum. My name is Waseem. I'm born and raised in Munich with a mother of German origin and a father of Egyptian, African origin. I grew up in a suburb in Munich and quite early started realizing that people considered me different. Hip-hop came into my life when I was about 13, 14 and stayed till now. And yeah, at first I think it was a feeling, kind of, hey, those people look nice, they talk nice, you know, I like the sound. But also as soon as I started understanding the lyrics, they also like spoke about topics that also considered me, like racism, discrimination, problems. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. Sooner or later, when I was like 18, 19, 20, I started performing and rapping myself, writing lyrics. Yeah, I got active and not just a listening part of the community, but also an active part of the community, hip-hop community. Music is always political, like everything else. Everything we do is political because we have a political context. But hip-hop very much is political, I would say, from the beginning, especially the context which created hip-hop. When we talk about colonialism, slavery, discrimination, especially of black people, POC, Afro-American and non-white people in the States, in New York and in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, where hip-hop came into existence. Of course, we cannot look away from the fact that all those centuries of discrimination played a big role. It's very much rooted in a political context, and of course, not only the discrimination plays a big role, but also the empowerment aspect of hip-hop. It's when you listen to lyrics that actually portray your feelings, it can be very empowering and, you know, give you a sense of community only with listening. Of course, then the next step could be that you yourself get into a creative mode, get into the zone, and you start thinking and writing your own ideas. And then I can help you, you know, forming them into a song or into a poetry. But of course it starts with, you know, thinking about yourself, bringing up your own topic, which can be very empowering. You can talk about whatever you want to. And then of course it's, you know, you're learning, how can I reach the audience? That's also very empowering. How can I get my message through? Some refugees, for example, I stay with them for some years. With the first idea, the first words on a paper, we turn it into a song, we record it, which takes time, you know, practice, write, record it, shoot a video. And then after some years, in the end, you can go on stage and actually perform your song or release a video on YouTube, and you can actually, you know, reach people, reach the society, talk to the audience and to the society, and you can make a shift in their mind. So I think that's very empowering, that you are worth something, your story is worth something. Working on your own message and performing it on a stage, I think that's I love it. Every moment that of this timeline is precious, and when the people end up, you know, enriching the society, that's empowering for all of us. My work is anti-racism focused in many different layers. It's not only the music that I do, but also the events that I organize. I organize festivals or hip-hop parties, and most of the time there is like a, I would say, social, conscious or political context to it. Most of the time in school there's not enough space for their experience to be expressed. School is learning, but it's not expressing yourself enough. So hip-hop gives us the way, and rap and poetry especially, but of course all the other elements, dancing, writing, all the stuff, gives them and us the opportunity to express ourselves, and they get a voice. And I think this is very empowering and turns out to be anti-racism in almost every workshop I go to. You know, when it comes to talking about the personal experience of racism, usually you're actually fed up at a point. You don't want to be always, you know, just play the victim card and talk about and again about those bad experiences. I can point out two things, I would say major turning points in my life, and they had to do with racism. In my youth, when I was 13, 14, 15 and even longer, there were a group of neo-Nazis, like actual neo-Nazis, like skinheads, with the boots and the jackets and all of the stuff. And I was the only non-white guy, kid in my neighborhood, so they were always chasing me, and you know, I always got in fights with them. So that this was very, I would say, a very clear sign to me that I was the only victim, the only target. Like in the same time, I went to Egypt and I went to meet my family there, my cousin. They don't have any chance in life to get out of the country or to get a job or to get a, you know, good education or to get any kind of near to the living standard that I am blessed with in Europe, in Germany. They could be living the same life as we, even better, but because of racist structures and colonial structures, they are forced to stay in poverty, which a lot of people in the global community are forced to. So yeah, I think it's bigger than just my experience. You know, it's a it's a structural problem. And we need structural solutions for this problem. It's not about my experience, the everyday racism. I think what's important to talk about is not only the past and the colonial past, we're talking about neo-colonial structures. And I think this is not only global and political, but it's also inside ourselves. I have to decolonize myself to get a better understanding of me and of my culture, of my background, of whatever my experience, to get rid of all those stereotypes and racist, structures in the society. I have to start with myself. I would say for me the most enlightening and maybe the most important work that I'm blessed to do is with young refugee kids that come to Germany and they really struggle to, find their place in society, and society struggles to give them their place. So I think there's a lot of work that has to be done, especially with the hip hop way, to give them a voice, to let them talk, to let them express their opinion and their claim for their rights and stuff. So a lot of refugees here, for example, are not allowed to work. They don't get working permissions, which is just plain stupid, to be honest. It would be a win-win situation for everyone if they were working. Of course for them, but for society, they would be taxpayers. It would just be beneficial to everyone. But it's not like this. So we, for example, turned a rap song into a campaign. We wrote a rap song with some refugees that were discriminated and didn't get a working permission. We did a song about this, and then we turned it into a big campaign with a demonstration and a music video, and we got a lot of companies behind us, and another organization joined us. Some very powerful movement in the community of refugees, because they really need more representation and more empowerment to become the part of the society that they want and can be. I started just like voluntarily going to camps. I just went there and maybe just performed for them, started maybe just jamming with them. There were some musicians, there were some young people, some young guys who wanted to, rap or sing or dance, or they were already listening to German rap music without even understanding the lyrics. We can, create music or a song together. This is how it started. And then from different camps, there were different musicians. They didn't know each other, but I brought them together, and this was, I think, the first moment where we kind of realized, okay, this is really the next step of a kind of a community music, refugee community music, because different people with different instruments, different languages, different backgrounds, different stories. For refugees, especially, it's a very, very nice experience to, leave the camp, to come somewhere where you can, just sit down on the couch and drink some tea and just let your creativity flow. I think we cannot really put ourselves in their shoes, how much this means to them. Music helps people in general, but also especially refugees on many levels. The first touch maybe with German society is sometimes the German rap songs that they listen to. This helps them to learn German because they want people to understand what they are saying. So this also helps them to be motivated, to learn German and to rap in German, which is of course amazing. Then they do songs in their own language for their own community, which is also very empowering. I know some people that are very successful on YouTube just because they are the only guys in Tigrinya or in Wolof or whatever language it is, Dari, that talk or rap about a certain topic to their community. So this is also very amazing. There are many different stages of fun and joy and empowerment. So I'm also very active with a festival, it's called AusARTen. We also focus on, for example, interfaith relationships between Muslims and Jews. Those communities are often not considered to be in touch, but I think we are very much in a common state in Germany. We have to struggle with the same issues, we have to face the same problems of discrimination and racism. And of course, within one of the communities, there might be discrimination against the other. You know, we have to build bridges between the communities, but we also have to come together and strengthen our position, which we share. So there's a lot of work to do within the communities, within one community, within the two communities, combining them, and then, you know, with the bigger community, the society in general. I would also say art is a very good tool to do this. Art always finds the key to one's heart in one or the other way. I would suggest that if you want to really practice anti-racism, you have to start with the communities that experience racism. You have to go there and ask, how can I support? What do you want? What do you need? Because it's not our choice as privileged people. Me, for example, if I want to support the LGBTQ community, I cannot just go out and do something for them. I have to go there, talk to them, work with them, get to know them, and be an ally and a complicit in the best way possible. And they can tell me what's the best way possible. So I think we always have to start with communication, to go there and ask, how can I help? What do you need? Instead of, you know, just doing whatever you think is right. Offer your support, but ask how. You have to understand that your point of view might not be the right one, and not the only one especially. So yeah, you have to be able to listen to people with other experiences to really be able to support them. Most of you know the sticker, the design from the CDs. Yeah, I know them since my childhood. Parental advisory, explicit lyrics. On most of the rap albums you will find this. And we, die Urbane, Eine Hiphop Partei, the first political party based on the foundations of hip-hop. Of course, we had to use this and turn it into political advisory, explicit anti-racism or decolonial content. The message that hip-hop very much is decolonial and anti-racism for us, but we need this perspective way more than it is right now in politics, because especially in Europe, especially in Germany, and even more specifically in Bavaria, you don't really find non-white perspectives in general, but especially in politics, it's a very white Eurocentric perspective of the world, and we want to change that. We want to bring new insights from the people all around the globe. But of course, especially the people that live here and have other experiences and other perspectives on life, on our community, on our society, and of course also in politics. This is why we turned into a hip-hop party. We are running for the general election this year, die Bundestagswahl. And of course, this is a major step for us, especially since last year, Black Lives Matter summer and all the protests, the topic is in everyone's mind. And now we have to really give depth and structural change to this topic in Germany, and this is our goal: representation on all levels and also the political level. So it's not only political, but it has to also include the political aspects. We are today kind of kicking off die Urbane in Bavaria. Today we will have performances of poetry, music. We will have speeches in German and English coming from the black community in Bavaria to really get to know our own perspective and our point of view and our goals and our demands, so we can actually really go into politics and change the narratives in politics. Wow, it was an event, experiment. I think it was very important for the community, for all of us who participated, to meet each other, to get in touch with each other, to see and feel and hear each other, and also to stream live to the rest of the world, to grow our audience and the people that are maybe suffering from racism and all the BS that's going on. And of course to all the allies who also support us, stand beside us. I think it was very, very important that we did it, and to show that we're here and that we are organizing and that we are willing to change something on all different levels. I think it came through the message today.